Now this very bad custom of neglecting to answer is the result of a lack of chinuch. People have to be trained. And I must say this. You cannot learn any Gemara unless you have Rashi. You need Tosfos, you need more Mefarshim. The truth is, however, even on Rashi and Tosfos, you have to have a Rebbe. That's why there are Rosh Yeshivas who explain this sugya. It's not enough to sit down and learn by yourself, but many times you'll be lacking appreciation of what's really being said here. When boys, for instance, learn Bava Kama in the yeshiva, and they learn all about Al-Bolas Nazikim, 4 kinds of damages, and they learn one of the Mazikim is Oda. Man is a damager. Now, it's not enough to learn that piece of Gemara. The Rebbe, wherever he is, even in the biggest yeshiva, must take time out to explain to his disciples what it means when people damage other people's property. If a boy is riding a bike and he is freshly laid paving and he is not interested, he's careless, or he's a vandal, and he drives his bike onto the wet cement and he mars it forever and ever, that's a vandalism. A yeshiva boy who does such a thing wasn't taught properly. Now that's done by Gentiles frequently, non-Jewish, and also by irreligious Jewish children. They trampled upon wet cement. It's a delight to them. Sometimes they scribble filthy words, obscenities, and it remains forever and ever. So children have to be taught not to commit vandalism. That's called nezikin, not to be a mazik. It's not enough to learn. It has to be explained in practical ways by the teacher, by the Rebbe. And that's why people have to be taught, when the Gemara says that a man who doesn't answer you when you greet him is considered a robber, it's a Gemara, is a robber. That has to be taught to children. It has to be taught to adults also. You must answer if somebody greets you. And it's a holy law. It's an evil illness. But people are so raw, such gelomim, so untrained that they don't understand this. Some people do answer, but it's almost invisible. They give a nod. You need a oscilloscope. You need a special instrument to see if he nods his head. Or he mutters something. You need something to magnify the sound. He should answer clearly, and he should make a noticeable motion with his head. He should acknowledge your greeting. That's the minimum a person should do. Now that training has to be taught to children by parents. Children have to be taught the realities, the verities of Torah in actual life, because otherwise they're not practicing the theories that are being taught. You know, there are children, there are boys who learn about stealing in the Gemara, and some of them have good heads, and they can talk about Tashlumei Kefel and things like that, and they know the halachas, they know the sugya, and still they wouldn't hesitate to steal a Gemara from a Beis HaMedrash, to take it to the yeshiva without permission. What does that mean? It means theory and practice are divorced from each other. It's up to the Rebbe to translate that into actual facts. You cannot take somebody's Gemara. You need permission. You cannot take a sefer from a synagogue without permission. You have to answer when somebody greets you. Otherwise, you're a robber, because it's your duty. Once he says something to you, it's your obligation to pay back. If you don't, you're a robber.
Enter the number of the question you would like to listen to.